Well, good morning. I'm here this morning at this beautiful location looking at Tabletop Mountain just behind me here. And yeah, it's a very cool morning, very cool. I think it's around about 4 degrees on the Toowoomba range. I am actually standing on this U platform that Toowoomba Council had actually rebuilt, an old lookout, and yeah, made a whole U walkway for people to come here, admire this beautiful mountain called Tabletop. And at the moment, it's about 6:45. As you can see, probably can't see it in the frame at the moment, but the sun is already risen. Originally, I was up at the top of Picnic Point this morning to hopefully get some filming up there and some photos up there as well, but it turns out there's no clouds. So I was hoping some clouds and that for more dramatic photography. As people know, I love clouds in my images instead of just a blue sky and that. So, but other than that, it's a fantastic morning. Sunrise beautiful and orange. Yeah, we had some light in the distance. You can't see it from because I'm filming from my A7III, and I don't have the wide angle, but over on the left side of the camera there's low-lying fog in the valleys and everything and so forth. Yeah, it's spectacular. I've often come here and shot these mountains of Tabletop many times before because I am a local here. Yeah, so at the moment there's not much light happening on top of the tabletop there. It's just starting to top, the light starting to hit on the top there. So, but until when the sun gets a bit higher and that, then you'll get more light on there. So at the moment it's really dynamic, beautiful soft light as you can see. Loving the highlights and where the higher parts of the top of the trees and the top of the valleys and mountains, there's getting the highlights and you're getting the shadows in the valleys. That's the sort of detail I like, and getting layers and that. Many years ago I had I did a shoot with the R4 here just after the fires that we had, and did a sunrise, and this was all just layered with smoke and all that, and you just see layers and layers in the mountains behind me and all that. And you've probably seen, most of you that follow me, you probably would have seen that image once before, and it was just red and orange. Spectacular morning. It was like fog, but it was actually fog when we had all those fires back there in what is it, 2019, yeah, and yeah, before pre-pandemic. So, but yeah, so I often come back and then I keep trying over and try and get different shots. Here, there's not much you can actually get from here in terms of wide angles, because we've got these trees in the foreground and they sort of get in the way, but in a lot of other ways too. This sort of shot, you get the backlit of the leaves and the branches and that hitting and helping framing the shot where is your main central of the subject is the mountain. So so landscape, it's very important to think about your shooting, your composition, and what you're going to get, and what you're hoping to get. And if you haven't been here before, these are the sort of things you've got to look at. What's in the foreground? But these also help sometimes too, not just for framing, but they give you some sort of foreground to understand the viewer that there's, you know, there's things in the foreground and apart from the background, giving depth of field perception. And yeah, so I don't know if you can actually see the rail in here and that, but I'm actually standing on a platform which is on probably about 5 metres off the ground. And then we got a big cliff in front of me, and it just goes into the valley, and as you can see, then it goes back up to a mountain called Tabletop. But anyhow, haven't used this camera for a while. This is the A7II, and as I just explained to you, I'm shooting a video with the A7III because that does a much better video footage and obviously tracking and AF performance, so it should be pretty tracking me and keeping me in focus, where this one is a bit, yeah, not as capable, let alone the video features and that and so forth. So I haven't used this for a long time. It's been sitting on the shelf. It was actually for sale, and I thought, oh, I'll get it out and come out and do a shoot in the video. And yeah, so had a few shooting with this. It's still working really fine. And actually, you know, with all this technology we've got now, it's amazing. Like the A1, the R4, A9 II, you know, very high tech cameras and that, and it's a shame that the technology is getting so far and it's so advanced, where the original series like the A7s, the A7II, and even the A7 itself, the original, are being forgotten. As the technology advances and that, and these get further down the line and nobody wants to get them. But that's fair enough and easy to understand because everybody wants the latest tech and so forth. But also too, these sort of things doesn't mean tech helps you make you a better photographer. So tools, the cameras are tools. So it's the person behind the camera is the one that decides what your images are going to be like, not the camera. Doesn't matter you're shooting older cameras or the latest technology. So it's really up to you. But just getting back to the A7II, I mean, these still take fantastic images, high, you know, really good high resolution, even though it's only a 42 megapixel sensor, not like the R4 or the A1, where you're talking 61 for the R4 and 50 for the A1, and which obviously you're going to get more resolution out of that and so forth. But also too, I mean, you have to admit too, from the A7s, the colour profiles are a lot different to the latest cameras. Say the A7 III, well, it's not the latest camera, but starting from there, way up to the A7 IV, A7S III, and the A9s, and obviously now the A1. And as those cameras were coming out, the colour you're getting out of these sensors are getting really good, fantastic. Skin tones, everything for portraiture is fantastic. And also the tonal colour range that you get in a scene like this, especially in sunrise, and that you obviously would be getting better gradual colour blending and toning without any banding in the skies and so forth. So the Sony cameras come a long way and really leading the way in mirrorless technology. But yeah, so I actually forgot to bring a second camera, a second tripod, so I could sit this up, and yeah, I'm not used to filming. I'm having to go at filming, as you know, but I was going to have this one set up, and then this camera here sort of back behind me, so I can actually show you how I do my settings and so forth and landscape and that. But I might have to leave that go to another day, and hopefully next time we might I might get here a lot earlier. Like I said, I was up in Picnic Point and there was a lot of people up there and I couldn't film, and I didn't really want to be talking to a camera and people thinking, who's he talking to? It sort of does look silly, and I have to admit that I had to get used to being in front of a camera and talking to a camera and not to a person directly. But anyhow, I might just leave it there, and I thought, yeah, as I'm starting to learn how to do video, and hopefully over the next couple of years I'll get better and better and better. It's all a big learning curve. I think now, being a still photographer myself, from landscape to portraiture, weddings and so forth, especially in weddings, we're getting to a stage that video is coming more demanding. So to keep my business going and so forth, I need to learn video, and because it's the way it is. It's, the video is becoming more and more and more and more these days. So if you're a photographer and you're thinking about doing business and stuff like that, I really honestly believe that you need to move on and start doing video as well, because if you're especially doing weddings, you need to know how to do video, because that's the demand is getting higher for the video work. So, but that's just one aspect. So learning how to take video is one thing, but learning how to edit video, just like stills, is another thing. And video is a lot more work, and obviously stills in both sides, taking photos and editing, where video is a lot more than that. It's a whole different scenario, and obviously a lot more work goes into it. So guys, just remember, if you're really serious in photography these days, yes, still keep up with the stills and the landscapes, whatever you do, and that I've taken many photos and images of all sorts of genres, to corporate, weddings, landscape, portraiture, nature, macro, and all sorts of things, and especially with all the workshops and photo walks I've done over the last, I think you're coming up to 8 years now of photo walks and stuff. So I've done a lot, not much video, but now, as you can see, I'm getting into the video side as well. So yeah, so the whole thing for me, and another thing is that I have to say, it doesn't matter how good you are as a photographer or a video vlogger, a video guy, you're always still learning new techniques, or learning something new. You don't know everything, and so forth. Yeah, I mean, say 10 years down the track, you will still be learning new things. and I suppose as well as the technology changes and all that as well, and software and all that of editing. Yeah, so just remember that, you know, because it's all about learning, and you grow and you advance, and as in time you get better and so forth. So, but anyhow, I just want to do this little quick video of you, for you guys this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit a like on my subscribe button, subscribe, and hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.